Welcome back, dear viewers, and talking more about the importance of the cooperation between Egypt and the African countries. I'm delighted to have over the phone Mr. Ambassador Ayoub, Mahmoud Ayoub. Good evening, Your Excellency.
Good evening to you and to the viewers.
Thank you so much. First of all, how do you see the importance of the cooperation between Egypt and the African countries, with consideration that Congo comes at the forefront of this context?
This is very important. Cooperation between Egypt and Nile Basin countries, even as far as Congo, is very important for both sides. Why? Because as we know, the Nile Valley, the Nile itself emanates from Uganda, and also Congo River pours a lot of water in the Atlantic Ocean. So we have a stake as far as water is concerned, as far as economic cooperation is concerned, as far as Egyptian exposed to African countries in negotiations. So it is a multi-dimensional approach to African countries for the mutual benefit of Egypt and each of these important countries to us.
Yes, Your Excellency. Also, during his visit to Congo, the foreign minister held a number of meetings. So I would like to hear more from you. What were the results of these meetings and what is their importance?
This visit is an important one because I may say it's the first time that the Egyptian Prime Minister visits Congo in recent years. This will open new fields, new areas, new export outlets for the Egyptian companies, whether trading companies or industrial companies or service companies. So it is very important because it paves the way for more cooperation in the economic and trade fields between Egypt and the African countries. Let me highlight that it's for the mutual benefits of the both parties. African countries, namely Congo and Egypt, and the Egyptian companies will benefit a lot from this kind of business by the Prime Minister in this year.
Yes, of course, Your Excellency. Also, it is important to ask, in your point of view, how is it important that this kind of cooperation could contribute in the stabilization of the Egyptian economy? And since Egypt is a leading country in the African region, how can the strong Egyptian economy could be reflected on the whole African region, in your point of view?
Economy is the backbone of any relation between two countries. When it comes to Egypt, Egyptian economy is strong enough and robust enough, but it needs new outlets, whether for exports or for investment by investors from these countries, if there are any. So the cooperation is very important because it lays the ground, feasible ground, and well paved the ground for the companies in both countries to cooperate together to create new areas of interest, new areas of cooperation, new areas of production in both countries, and that is vital for the Egyptian economy because we are at a stage when we need every dollar from investment and every dollar from exports. That is why this visit is very important, and the African countries are welcoming this visit because it is seeing that Egypt is coming back to Africa. That's something which we are very pleased with, and we have to exploit it or invest in it to the utmost because the Egyptian economy needs more cooperation, needs more markets, and needs more investment, whether from African countries or from other sources.
Yes, Your Excellency, and if we're going to dig deeper in this point, I invite you to talk more about the technical cooperation in particular and the capacity building program. Would you please tell me your takeaways regarding this program in particular?
Technical cooperation is very important. Why? Because Egypt is relatively developed as far as technical know-how and transfer of technology is concerned, and it can help many African countries who badly need this kind of cooperation. When they cooperate with Egypt, it is not an imperialist country, it has very respectable history as far as the relations with countries is concerned, and so they are welcoming the technical cooperation because they need technical know-how, they need the Egyptian expertise, and they need the Egyptian experts who are in many countries now as a vanguard for better development of the economies of these countries. That is why these countries welcome cooperation with Egypt as far as technical know-how and transfer of technology is concerned, and many Egyptian companies are beginning to create presence in this market. And I've seen this in Congo, I've seen it in Uganda, and I've seen it in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, and that is something which we should be supported by the government and the private sector.
Yes, of course, this is a very important point, as this opens a great room to provide more jobs in the Egyptian and the Congolese market as well. But talking also about the Egyptian-Congolese Business Forum, which was also launched, what is the role of this forum, Your Excellency?
One of the goals of this cooperation between Egypt and Congolese business is to create new markets for both, not only for Egyptian companies, but also for Congolese market. In many cases, we find that Egypt and the other countries are importing African raw material, for example, or inputs from Europe. When we deal directly, it cuts the cost and increases the areas of cooperation, and the Congolese party or African party have a great interest in cooperating with Egypt because it has clean history as far as this relations is concerned since 1950s, and we helped many of these countries to gain independence, and we helped them in several ways, and until now Egypt is ready to cooperate more with the African countries for the mutual benefit of the peoples of the two parties.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador Ayoub, Mahmoud Ayoub, former Minister of Commerce. Thank you so much for this very valuable insights. Thank you.